The K-shaped economy. So this one is something that I've really spent a lot of time thinking about. And I'm sure of those of us who lived through and survived COVID in the mid 2020s, there was an economist named Peter Atwater, and he talked about something called the K-shaped recovery. And the K-shaped recovery, it's the way that different segments of the population were on different levels of the recovery at different times, right? So in 2025, we're clearly not in a recovery. It's debatable whether or not we're going on a recession. So the data is clear. However, we're about to talk about it is a K shape. So wealthier, more affluent travelers are going to be behaving in one way, and middle and lower income class travelers are behaving in another one. And that's your K shape on there, right? And as more time goes by, there's more difference in the spending behaviors between those two groups. And so I'm just going to kind of follow the Citigroup CEO Jane Fraser and other economists now who are talking about this current environment being the K-shaped economy. And so in that again too, as is on this slide, wealthier Americans, they are engaging with their purchasing power in a lot of similar ways as they were before. And unfortunately, lower income Americans are starting to pull back. And it's pretty evidenced here when we're talking about hotels and airlines. I know I just said that for the K-shaped economy, right? But here's one thing. In the immortal words of Cinderella, you don't know what you got till it's gone. And what thing COVID taught a lot of people very recently in 2020, when travel got taken away from them, they did not like it. Because of those experiences, travel is seen as a necessity. It's a necessity in the space, and it's something that no matter where your price point is, the majority of Americans are saying travel is a necessity. I'm going to find a way to do it. So how does that work? If I was going to Europe before, maybe I'm going to do a cross country flight and stay in the United States. If I was doing a cross country flight in the United States and I have a little less money, I'm going to go and fly regionally. If I was flying regionally before and I have less discretionary money, I'm doing a road trip. And if I was doing a road trip with multiple stays, I'm going to cut the stays. And if the only thing I can afford is a day trip, I'm going to get in my car and do a day trip because it is an essential thing that, and again, the data we're about to talk about from some of our favorite research vendors is that partners is that people have the will to travel and they're going to use the discretionary income available to them to continue traveling. When we move that time period block out to 12 months, 92.4% of Americans are intending to travel. If you intend to travel, the average amount of trips you're intending to take is going to be 3.8 trips. So are those trips going to be as far away? Are they going to be as long? Are they going to be involving a flight? Are they going to be doing that? Maybe not, but those trips are still happening. There is a market for the product in the destination space, which makes it so much more important to be able to target the right travelers for your destination to be able to track them because the will is there to find the money and to actually travel. Anyone who knows me in my TTRA space knows I love me some Chris Camp. I think he's on the call. Love you, Chris. And the favorite blog I have on that is published on LinkedIn every month is the blog that he does of their indices that come out. And in September of 2025, when you're looking at the overall market penetration index, it was at 80.7. And that is up year over year from 75.8. That's going to be 6 points up. The leisure travel index is one that takes out business travel and VFR, visiting friends and relatives. And that one is at 145.2. And that was 139.2 last year for the same month. So we are seeing, even though we have a K-shaped economy, some are more able to spend than others, but everybody still wants to travel and they are going to be able to travel. And there is money for that across the board, across all the segments. There is going to be money for travel.